All right.
We are live.
We're live with POP-ulation POPcast.
Woo! Wonderful.
I can see myself on this thing now. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to POP-ulation episode 10, I believe.
10.
Okay.
10, baby, yes.
I'm your host, the bad guy, Nick H.
I'm your other host, the Musawa One Franco.
And your other host, Manny Fresh.
We got the returning.
Hi-Fi here. Finally, after
It's been a while, right?
it's been a long while. Oh my god.
And our guest talking some Funko Pops, collecting and other bullshit.
Hey, what's up, I'm Victor?
Got Vic.
Our board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vic from GameStop, who's currently no longer at
Who's
GameStop.
currently? Yeah.
Wait, what?
You want to give us some
Yeah.
Why I left
inside
GameStop.
information for GameStop?
What the hell? Oh shit! Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Hold on, hold on.
This
Hold
is
on.
just a disclaimer for anybody who's going to the GameStop inside the mall. Don't get there anymore, all right?
You
I'm
can't.
so
Suck up the
sad.
tears.
Well, I mean, you can ask, but
They're gonna just say he's not there.
they'd be like, "Yeah, no, he's like over there." No point. Like right across the street. I'm over at Office Depot now. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm a tech.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's
damn.
cool.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
That's
Upgrade.
cool.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm a senior tech consultant over there. I've been there for going on about 4 weeks now, so almost a month.
Oh my god.
This is actually my second tour with them. I was with them actually before GameStop,
Mhm.
which is funny. 'Cause
Yeah.
I came back. And I came back something better
Mhm.
and better. It's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool place. I really enjoy my job.
Mhm.
Like I'm actually helping people and stuff.
Yeah,
That's good,
see
man.
that?
That's
That's
really
good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that you said that you're enjoying your job.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like-
That's
Every now and then.
That's a big deal.
Like I feel like you have a virus. I can take care of it. And it's like cape.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
They're like,
Whoosh
then they're
sound.
like, oh, dude, like, hey, look, on the real though, like, I don't know what any of that stuff is. Like, dude, my guinea pig had my computer, and that
Yeah.
is like,
He has like buggy
Yeah.
yeah,
eyes.
he's like,
and I don't know what happened.
he's addicted to watching some dirty stuff. You know?
It's like yeah, no, it's yeah, I can see it all. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, this totally wasn't you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I got
these
you.
pictures on here that your front-facing camera was
Yeah.
taking. I mean, it
Oh,
doesn't
shit.
show that.
Oh
too.
my
you
God.
recorded your own sex video with
Ew.
yourself.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, no, actually I make it a solid habit never to look into the personal files. Every now and then, because I don't know, a lot of people seem to not use like private browsers or like like incognito modes or anything like that.
Wonderful.
And so it's like sometimes like I just right click the icon and just boom, and I'm just like, son of a bitch, like the last 8 things you visited, like
And you're sitting there like, yeah,
That
yeah,
one's-
this is-
Porn.
that was
Porn.
hardcore. I don't know what that one's about.
Hit like,
And-
wait a minute.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm gonna
Pause real
write this
fast.
name
No,
down.
that one's actually a good one. Have you seen that one
Oh
yet?
my God.
Please tell me you watched it to the end.
My
Tremendous
God.
acting.
Did you get all the way up to the
Yeah.
3-minute mark? Because if you did,
Yeah.
you're probably already finished.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I
done.
mean-
Yeah. But no, I feel like I did all the pop fiends wrong when I left because I only
Yeah.
told a few people because it was like a week and a half or so.
Mhm.
Like from the time that like I found out, and then
Mhm.
from like the time that like I started was just like a week and a half, and I only got to tell like just a
How many
handful of
titties?
people.
And look at this.
I'm gonna be dead serious with you.
No, it's not.
When I quit Walmart, I didn't tell anybody. I just straight up walked in there one day and was like, I don't want to work here anymore. I walked in like out of dress code and went to the back, and there was a manager inside the ad office. That's where you go to talk to the managers. And I was like, I gotta say something, and I don't know if you're gonna need another manager here to be a witness. And they're like, oh, what is it that's so important? I was like, well, I'm quitting. Oh gosh. And they're like, so and so come to the ad office. So then I just, why do you want to leave? I just I created some BS just so in case I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, it got bad. And I mean, people afterwards, as we were talking about, we're over here messaging you like, hey man, will you do this? Or hey man, can you pull one of these aside? And you're like, I don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, sorry.
I miss those phone calls when you tell me about Pop's ready.
Oh,
No, I'm all just start crying. Like,
But man, I would feel bad. But I would feel so bad that I would go out of my way to message friends that still work there and be like, yo,
Yeah.
can you tell me if this is in the toy section? And if it is, can you put it at the sporting goods counter? And then I'm messaging the person that's asking, okay, yo, they're holding it for you at the sporting goods counter. Blah, blah, blah.
you're the
And I was
middleman.
like, oh.
That's because like I started getting like pretty good about calling people right at the end too. I was just like I was on it. I was fucking on it, and I was like, well, I'm not sure if they're gonna do the calls anymore. like, and that's because like I have several things pre-ordered with them,
Mhm.
and I have no idea what's actually there or not.
Yeah, the Conan, Luchador Conan. I had a pre-order with them all, and then I went today and it's like right down thing. I'm like, I want no more.
Dude, like they didn't tell me fucking anything, and then I go out and then I go up there and fucking I go and see the shelf and I'm like, oh, so they're here. No one's making the calls. Like, fuck.
Yeah, like the people that pre-ordered are getting screwed. Like,
Yeah.
but that's life. You always have to get screwed out of something.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm excited though because I have two pretty important pops pre-ordered over there right now. So I have the Spider-Punk. So yeah, so I don't have like all the Spider-Man, but I have a
I need that
good little
Spider-Punk.
bit.
He's like,
Like I have a good little bit of Spider-Man pops, and I want it. I want it. So yeah, and then I have the Patina and Stan Lee. I have the Patina and Stan Lee on pre-order, of course.
He's like-
Yeah, man, it's crazy because it's already hitting Walmart shelves.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
I think it's the one on
to me,
Staples.
that's also
I'm
a
trying to
really
get that.
exciting one.
Mhm.
Just a commemoration of the man.
the
So
man.
yeah, so I was
Have
really
you
excited.
seen like the little poster things that they keep on putting like the Avenge
Avenge
the
the
Fallen?
Fallen,
They
it's
did
him.
God.
I was like, no.
That hurt. I had a dream about him the other night,
No man.
and he gave me a speech, and he said he was proud of me. I was like, "That's the weirdest thing."
Yeah.
Like I felt like
Do you
the
even
scene in
know-
Mallrats whenever Jason Lee's character is talking to him.
Yeah.
It felt like that, and he was just telling me like, "I'm super proud of you, and like the man you've become, and I've watched you grow since you were a kid, and you've been a fan of my stuff, and your creativity shows and everything you do." And I was just like, "Why am I getting a speech from Stanley? I'm not even like an actor." I
Wakes
don't,
up,
you know,
real tear.
Yeah, I woke up and I remember just feeling like so encouraged. I'm
You're
like,
I'm
gotta go
gonna
to work, right?
make a
but
good day today.
but Stanley,
So I woke up, took a clear breath of air.
yeah, and I felt like being alive that day. I was like, I'll live for Stan.
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it. I'm gonna live for Stan.
That's what it felt like. And then I heard, and I was like, oh no.
I don't want to go.
No.
Wait,
Wait.
don't do this.
Trying to put it back. You're like,
You're like, hold on, where's the crazy glue?
It makes it worse.
yeah.
Fuck.
Mom, get the broom. Start putting it together.
I get I turn on the vacuum. Tap. I'll put a note inside here.
If you need to speak
Slap
with
that
me,
inside
just-
here.
I'll mix with the other shit. Like, fuck.
I found your ring, Mom. Like, oh shit,
Damn.
it's in there. It's
Damn.
with you. Oh man.
Aggressive.
Crazy stuff, dude.
So besides Funko Pops, what else do you collect?
Dude, it's so bad.
Flashlights.
Let me tell you about that collection, brother. No.
Wow, as a fellow,
Right.
fellow flashlight collector, so
Fellow aficionado.
connoisseur of
Yeah.
the flashlight.
No, I do statues as well. So I'm massive into One Piece. That's a rabbit hole. It's one that as far as I've ever encountered, for some reason, no one wants to go down the road of watching One Piece. It's on episode let's see, today's Thursday. On Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be episode 878.
Damn, what the fuck?
I used to read the book. I mean, the mangas and everything. I had every single one, and whenever I moved from my grandmother's house to my dad's house that he's in now, I lost those books within the move. I don't know where they went, or I was so upset because like it was a good gift. It was a gift set that they gave me for Christmas, and I couldn't find it, and I was upset. And I was like, I give up. I can't find any of the books because every time I go to half price books or Barnes and Noble, they're always missing a piece, and I'm like, I can't get back into it again.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? The manga does tell like a wonderful story. Like it's so great because there are so many things that are different. Just because I guess in animation you can't show certain things. Yeah, like it's so interesting. Like it's actually kind of something that me and my buddy also were talking about before this a few hours ago, because we're watching like an anime show and we're reading the manga together. It's like it's pretty awesome. But yeah, like it's one of those where you have to watch it all and read it all, or else it's like something's missing. But I made the mistake of going too far ahead.
Yeah.
And it actually, since I've watched it from the get-go, it ruined that entire portion. Because I have an incredibly vivid imagination. You know, once you're invested, it's like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like fuck. So I had to like just chill out for like a month or two, and then just kind of recap the episodes. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, it's pretty up. And then, but I noticed because of that some things were not put in or mentioned, and it's just like.
They do that for a reason so that you can reference back into a book. So when you actually read the
So
book,
you
you're
know the real
missing.
weebs.
You're missing. You have those key points in certain storylines that you find in the book, and like you'll hear like the wind chimes whenever you're watching the anime. You're like, I know what happens here, but everybody else is like, what do you mean? And you're like,
it's like so the manga is what you would start, right? And the shows follow the manga.
Yes, but
depending actually, it really depends. Like, there's this one fantastic anime, called Darling in the Franxx. That was actually a show, but now they're doing the manga.
So they continued it in a manga, or they're just doing the manga on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, but with One Piece, it's like it was a manga. Now it's a TV show.
Yeah.
But when you read, which I tell them, don't read too ahead in the mangas because
you're gonna give away the shows. So start catching up.
The animes, they're way behind.
Yeah.
So if you read too far ahead, you're like, oh no.
Well, it's like me and The Walking Dead. Like, I watch The Walking Dead and I read the graphic novels. So like I'm ahead in the graphic novels, and then I like to see these scenes portray out in the show. Yeah. But here's the thing that The Walking Dead does is like
they don't do that.
It takes something so good from the comics and then just shits on that. And it's like, oh yeah, no, you're not gonna get that. Like even with the second to last episode of this season. Like last week's episode was supposed to be your big reveal, and I was sitting there like, no, dude. When you read the comics, you're sitting through this like crying. You know what I mean? And then you watch the show, and you're like,
me.
Are you serious? Y'all wasted all. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
That was one of those where, like I said, because we're watching like this Shield Hero anime, and I started watching the manga. And he's reading because he's not a manga. He's a graphic novel. Yeah. Not a graphic novel, light novel guy. I think the words barely, you know. Yeah, and it's aggressive. But there's this one portion referring to the last episode where like a companion, not really mentioning much, where a companion actually gets like shoved through a ship and like onto the ground, and in the anime it was just tossed aside on the ship. Same companion, like, and I'm just like, I want to see them get smashed. Like, like I wanted to see that animation. You know, it's just like, it was such like a gut wrenching because of who that companion was. Like, it was such a gut wrenching feeling reading it and watching it. I was actually upset. I was like,
why you do this?
You doing this to me? But yeah, no, it's still fantastic.
You just start getting the fire pit ready, just throwing everything in there. You're like, no.
Yeah, but no, as far as pops are concerned, I just my two most recent ones are the Spirit Spiders. Yeah, so I got the Glow in the Dark and I got the regular one. And then I guess before that one was the Gold Iron Spider. So there's that one. And then the Luchador Conan. Yeah.
Do you collect inbox or out of box?
What do you mean?
Like
as far as
just
yeah. Right now, just in
box.
Yeah, like there were the few that when I first started collecting because I didn't really care, I just threw away the boxes. Those are my Rick and Morty ones. Yeah, I know. Well, no, it's only like three or four of them. Like
okay.
It's Morty, like the one with the Mega Seeds, and then the Morty, no, Rick, and then Doofus Rick. Doofus Rick is like one of the ones that I'm just like, fuck this. Like, yeah.
It's crazy because like I think when I just started off, I was just like, if I'm gonna get these, I'm gonna collect them. Because when I would see them in stores, I'll be like, when I first saw pop figures, I was like, these look kind of like cool, but what do I do with them? You know what I mean? Like they're not an action figure, you know. So when I looked at it, like when I stopped looking at it like as a toy or an action figure, and I was like, I collect these things. That's when I made my first purchase, and it was like, if I'm gonna collect these, they're staying in the box. Yeah. Because if I take them out, they're gonna end up in a bin inside my closet, just thrown there, all piled in like a bin.
Mountain.
Like you know, like, and it's gonna be really dumb. So
you're gonna have friends over. You're like, you want to play?
Hey, dude, check it out. And dump it over, you know, a bunch of pops, and people are like,
and they look
what am I doing
like
this? Yeah, like that one video of Trippy Red where he has all the pops on the table and he just picks them up and he's dropping them all over himself. I'm like, dude, go to hell.
How dare you scratch up the paint?
I felt it. I was
like, man,
I was like, I want that one,
You know how much that was going up for.
But because you're so like, because you're making filthy money right now, you don't even care. Like you're making bank. So yeah,
That was too aggressive for me when I saw that, man. I was like, dude, I saw it like as soon as he started. I was like, nope. I was like, I can't handle that right now with my soul. Like,
yeah.
yeah. No, but I heard you on the Marvel Legends, dude.
Oh yeah.
I had to stop myself.
No,
Dude.
I'm still there, man.
Dude.
I can't.
That's aggressive.
I can't
For me,
stop. Can't stop.
dude, at like $22, $23,
Oh, dude.
I was like, bro, like 6 to a set, 7 to a set. I'm like,
bro. I used to just get whatever I liked from the wave. That's all I would do. Whatever I like enjoyed from the wave.
Yeah.
And then a friend got me like, dude, you could build the figures. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I already know that. And then I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that.
yeah.
I was like, you can build the figures. And then
Yeah.
after,
The wind
next
chimes
thing you know, I was
in the
like,
background.
beep, beep. You know, where you're spending like a good chunk of your check.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, ha, I got it. And it's, oh man, like,
Get away from
there are some ones that there are waves though that I was like, I'm gonna build this, I'm gonna build this, I'm gonna build this, and like the lizard wave, I wanted to build lizard so bad, and I bought Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Punk, and then like I just stopped the lizard wave. I just stopped collecting it because I was just like, I got caught up, and then like more waves. It's sometimes where they got aggressive, or they're releasing 4 or 5 waves at the same time. So you're like, I gotta build Apocalypse, I gotta build him, and you're like, damn, who do I get? And then you end up buying one from each wave, and you're just like.
That for me right there is what fucked me up because I worked at GameStop,
I
so
know,
I was able to like weekly, monthly actively check
Mhm.
pre-orders, and so it was one where I would see, you know, that was the Kingpin set that released with Symbiote and everyone.
Yeah, the only reason some of the figures didn't look so great in that wave, so I was like, I just want the Kingpin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right after we got them in store,
Mhm.
I looked and already was another set, and I was like, dude.
dude,
And it wasn't even cool because it was like set for a week later.
You know,
And I was like,
dude. and
How are
then
you doing this to them? Like,
I follow these guys that
Oh my
did the
God.
guys that do toy reviews because I did a toy review for my channel and it got like a lot of views, and I was like, dude, I can see myself doing this. It's something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then like I see the dudes that I look up to in the toy review game, and these guys are like, yeah, I already got my order of these it's shipping this day, so they just get the full pack in from Big Bad Toy Store or whatever, and they get the whole wave, and I'll put it down, and they're like, this is it, let's start cracking these open. And like my first video, I'm reviewing this one, second, and these guys are just getting the waves, you know what I mean? Or they're going into a store, they're getting the entire wave, and I'm like, yo, like I don't got wave money, you know what I mean? Like,
You want to hand me
Yeah,
some wave
you know,
money, man?
yeah, and I would do that if I had that money, but no, like when it comes to collecting these waves, it's like one reason I kind of slowed down is because, man, when I would go hunting, like I was every time I had a day off, like I was spending from like 9 o'clock in the morning to like 6 in the afternoon checking Toys R Us, all 3 Walmarts, HEB Plus on Saratoga, every Walgreens, and I was just like,
Jesus.
it gets exhausting after a while. You know, you
Gas
fill your tank,
money?
yeah, you fill your
I
tank,
remember
and
when people were like that for Amiibos, man.
oh man.
I remember that. Like they would go to every single.
I followed this one guy
GameStop.
who used to do Amiibo collecting,
Yeah.
and he would make videos about it. And I never collected Amiibos. When I joined his channel, he was collecting pop figures and Marvel Legends, and then he had a search list, and there was always an Amiibo in there. So he'd be looking for Amiibos. And then when they died out, they just stopped making a lot.
Yeah.
People that subscribed to him just because he called himself the Amiibo Hunter.
Fuck.
He ended up calling himself the Toy Hunter after a while. But the Amiibo Hunter, people would get pissed and be like, "Yo, when are you gonna collect more Amiibos?"
Fuck.
And in every video, he would be like, "What do you want me to collect? Like, go to the store. They're not releasing anything new. I'm going to these stores and there's nothing. I'm going to these sections for no reason. I'm wasting gas." And so people are like, "Oh, okay." So then when a new Amiibo wave recently dropped, maybe last year,
For this
he did he's
national-
like, "Okay, guys, I'm back, but this is not a permanent thing. I'm just doing this for for my OG fans,
Mhm.
but for all my newer fans, y'all know that it's still Pops and Marvel Legends." And then that was crazy though, like the wave. I had a friend who was really into those Amiibos.
Yeah.
I have 2. I only have 2 amiibos, and it's the Yarn Yoshi, the green one, and then the Yarn Blue Yoshi. Like those were the only 2 out of the whole thing that I wanted. That was it.
You're out of all of them.
Out of all of them,
I had a friend who
I wanted the pink one, but every
Yeah.
time I went, it was always out of stock. I never found it, so I only have the green one and the blue one. Never got the pink one.
I had a friend who gave me he would get Marvel's Collector's Corps, and he didn't collect pop figures, so he would give me the pops that he would get in the boxes. And that's who he gave me Spider-Man, where he's up in the air webbing.
Oh,
He gave me that one, and then he gave me Squirrel Girl, which is up for sale because I was like, thank you, but I'm not a fan of Squirrel Girl, so I was like, thank you so much, I'll keep her. And then I tried to sell her for what I was seeing her. The pop price kind of people were getting mad about that. Like, I don't think she's worth that much. And I was like, well, then don't buy it for me. I'll keep it in my collection. It's one pop that you don't have, one pop that I have that I don't need.
Mm-hmm.
So
If you gonna be like that,
You. Yeah, this one girl's like, I'm not gonna know. If you're not gonna sell it for less than this, I'm not. I'm like,
do you look
like you own it? Like, I don't have to sell it to you. Like, you're not
I
killing
have
me.
the right to refuse service.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
So take her out of the store.
Get her.
get her out of here.
She gets like cyber security.
Oh god.
Comes to escort her out.
task.
Yeah, like they kick her out of the.
You should see the comments
Fucking
start
cyber
moving.
bounce.
Yeah, they just throw her out.
Just see the comment moving out. You're like, what
Yeah,
the heck is this?
Yeah, what happened? You just see like two guys moving it.
Yeah.
Just that'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Now, as far as collecting though, like, what was the most recent pickups for real?
Well, Manuel actually just handed
Oh, I
me
guess
my
right, yeah.
pickup. You want to bring it this way?
Yeah.
It's right. I was like, it's right behind you.
Yeah.
Well, as we all know, we had what was it, the Emerald? Right? Yes, we had Emerald City Comic Con, the spring collection. Well, he got me one off of the little Funko shop. Oh goodness, you can actually see the back, and they have it all updated now. But it's a little flowers. My cosplay that I did for RealmsCon a year back.
It's like a topic girl little by there.
Yeah, just a little by the hair, but other than that, I thank you, Manuel.
Hey, no problem. She let me get two, so I broke the system. Shout out to Funko.
Shut up.
I'm not a bot.
Oh, shit.
I promise.
I promise I'm not a bot. I had to get her too because that's probably the only one I've been able to get my hands on out of the Scott Pilgrim series.
Sorry.
And when I went back and watched it, I was like, yo, I should start collecting Scott Pilgrim. I really love it. And y'all are just like, yeah, let that dream go, bro.
Rob collects them, and Rob I want to say has all of them.
Yes.
Except for the Sex Bob Pop, I think.
Oh, for real?
But I could be wrong. Don't
I remember running into them at Toys R Us, man, and I didn't think much of it.
I ran to
was
the
like,
Nega
oh, it's
Scott.
cool. Like, oh, this is cool, and then
I got the Nega Scott with the anti-whatever crap.
Mhm.
And I opened it. I'll probably get another one later on. I opened it, and it's like up here. I'm like,
I never got another one.
it's like $25 I think right now. So
yeah, but the thing is, that's the price, but people are not gonna want to sell it to you for $25.
yeah,
And I think it's worth $50.
it's Toys R Us. It's defunct now.
Yeah, Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, now they do a lot of people's jobs in healthcare. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do you think it's worth that much?
Yeah.
No, you're like,
I was really excited that I got into Pops when I did because, once again, One Piece, massive into it. I have all of them that have come out for One Piece.
okay.
So one of those is Trafalgar Law. Law is up there with Weiss at 145, 150. And he got vaulted. So it was one of those where I was like, maybe with metallic Weiss, and I have metallic Weiss.
You're like,
I got lucky with that one because a buddy was stepping out of the pop game, and I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, and he gave me for it for 120. So I was like, yeah.
he has them. This is my glass case full of my most prized possessions, and he has them both there, like light up and everything. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
I had
Fantastic.
a friend who was jumping out of the pop game, and he had the. I'm mad because I'm thinking about it. He had just started collecting, and I've been busting ass to collect, and he just randomly stumbles upon Chase Pennywise in Rance's Pass, and I was like, that thing just got vaulted, and that's one that I really want. So when he said, I'm stepping out of the pop game, I'm selling everything, I was like, yo, you're Chase Pennywise? Like, I'm trying to get all the Pennywise. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna sell that one. I was like, but that's like the only Pennywise you have, homie. Like can you help a brother out who's trying to like collect all the Pennywises?
That's how it was too for my buddy too, because the same guy that I bought the metallic Weiss off of, I kind of returned to him because I was asking about the metallic beers that he had, and I was like, and he was like, nah, I'm keeping him. I was like, I've waited too long.
I should have got you right when I got the other
Shut
one.
up, man. Like he was, because it's just one of those, and I was like, that was because like that was another one that I really wanted. So because like I almost cried for the metallic Weiss because I was there on Funimation, just like babies, like like just trying.
I forgot who I was trying to get. I think it was the Gold Vegeta on Funimation. Or no, who was it? It was one of them, and I remember I didn't even want I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was younger. Haven't caught up with it since.
Yeah.
But I didn't even want it. I was just getting it just in case somebody couldn't get their hands on it. I had it there, you know, and then if everybody did get their hands on it, it was trade bait. You know what I mean? But I was like, you know, I'm gonna get it just in case somebody can't get their hands on this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. And I remember like some people were like,
dude, ain't that
hey, like,
aggressive?
because like I mean, it's in this game. It's like we talk about it all the time. It's like it's become so aggressive, and everybody's for themselves now. And that's not what I stepped into this game for. Like I'm to help everybody. That's my thing. Like I don't flip. I've never flipped anything. Like I don't. It could be a thing for some people. It's not a thing for me. I mean, if that's the way you get your money,
Cool.
cool. Like that's the way you get your money. But as a collector, I can't see myself doing that. Like my heart's like, no, dude, because I remember what it was like, you know, like finding this in the store and how, you know, like I've run into things that people are looking for. I'm like, well, I don't need it, so I'm gonna leave it here. Hopefully, the collector that does need it finds this, you know. But then, you know, in this game, it's like people will just go, oh, that's a One Piece. Oh, it's a Hot Topic exclusive. Oh, I'm gonna take it. I don't need him, but
Like the San
somebody
Diego
does need this,
Comic-Con,
and I know I can use it.
ones are like that. Like they see it and they're like, oh, just because it's San Diego Comic-Con, it's gonna be worth something later. So they grab like one of each, or they grab like two of each, three of each.
Fuck.
And
There was this one kid for the fucking what was it? It was a Hot Topic. It was the San Diego exclusive. I think it was the Vegeta. What was it?
it was one of the Dragon Balls, right?
where he's already ape. Where he's ape Vegeta.
Oh, the Great Ape or whatever was his name. Yeah, I think it was Great Ape. Where he's
the
like,
fucker brought like the max, like his Hot Topic has like a max of 4 or 5. He fucking bought 4 or 5, and I was like, dude, and immediately that same fucking day, it was out there trying to sell them, like immediately trying to flip them, like dude. And he fucking had like the nerve to actually come upstairs because I was there. I was upstairs for the event I was opening, and he had the fucking balls to come upstairs and be like, because we had already talked about, because I have the because of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this guy right here, I have the Broly from San Diego.
Oh yeah, that's
Because I was able to put.
Oh yeah.
yes.
Yeah. You went ahead and gifted me that, so I have that. You know, I was chatting up with this one guy. He was upstairs and he came up with the fucking great ape. And he was like, "Hey," he was like, "I'll trade you this for that Broly." And I was like, "No, like I don't." No, like now fuck off with that. Like I don't really care about Vegeta for one. Like
Fuck out my store.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
fucking leave.
like,
close the gates.
get out of here.
Emergency is just like a gate slams on his and chops him in half.
And then after he left is when I found out that
Really
he was
bad.
the one
Mhm.
that had bought 4 or 5 of them and was trying to flip them immediately. And I was like,
I've seen that. I think
"Dude,
me and Tiff were in the line whenever somebody had gotten some Dragon Ball character.
Oh,
And everybody, like the guy behind us, like, what the fuck?
yeah."
Like, no, like, oh, he's on the phone. I'm here, fucking Hot Topic, man. What do you mean there's no more? And he's like screaming at me and Tiff are looking at him like, oh shit. This dude's mad.
oh, it
And
was that day.
then, yeah, and then like the
Oh
guy's
my
walking with
God.
like 2 bags full of them, and he's like, y'all leave me the fuck alone. These are for me and my friends. Like, leave me alone. These were. And I remember just being like,
It was like the day of that day for San Diego Comic Con
this
the
one,
last
the
time around.
8-bit Batman and this little dude was there. as well.
Logan,
Yeah.
and then it was what was it? The freaking was it the Dragozord?
Yeah, the
That was
Dragonzord was
oh my god,
Dude.
that was the heat of the moment because
That's
me and
what
him
it
were
was, the
both in
Dragonzord.
line
Yeah.
and we're just standing there and we're like, man, if we get lucky enough to get one,
I was like,
me and
yeah,
him were like, oh,
we're
gonna
there
get
with our
one.
stuff. Like, yeah, I got what I needed. And she was there, like, yeah, I got what I needed too. I was like, yeah, it's a good day.
And you
and
just hear
then-
people in the background, what the fuck?
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Somebody just bought them all. And I'm like,
And you just see a guy just walking out.
and then like with the bag, 2 bags, and then like, oh, fuck you. And he's like, oh, these are for me and my friends. And I'm just sort of like,
Dude.
And we see the same guy. Me and him were going upstairs with our bag. I
oh,
was
he's
like,
the first one in line,
I was
right? At
like, hey, Daniel,
GameStop.
I'm gonna get you a spot up there. He said,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be right there. I go
Yeah.
up there and I'm like,
Dude's there in line.
and
With
then he's like,
his,
is that the same guy? I was
Yeah.
like, that's the fucking same guy. He has the other guy over
I
there
was
at
like,
Toys
"Toss
R
him over,
Us, and
toss
then
him
him
over.
over here. And I'm like,
toss him over to the second floor.
Come on.
There's a chance he'll survive, but maybe toss him where the trees are so he'll crack his neck on the.
I looked at Manuel, I was like, his hands like not on the back, like, let's just go sweep butt.
Oh my god.
And, like,
But-
Dropped it.
He dropped it. We got it. Run.
no, you dropped him. Kill that man. Dude, shut up. No, I didn't.
Just start throwing him down there. All right, you pop maniacs. Here you go. Just start
I
throwing
killed it for y'all.
He dropped himself. Fuck
He
it.
dropped himself. He trips.
He tripped.
His shoelace was untied.
Go over there real quick.
I make it look like one of those like really bad Spanish Spanish soap operas. And like when the girl hits the
Their
glass.
novella.
Yeah.
Rappers
Like a really bad
overall.
novella. Yeah. Just over exaggerate his death. And you're like, you were still there though.
What
You
is
did
it
all
like
that.
those the cold case files or whatever?
No.
The reenactments are dramatized.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. That's bad.
sorry, it was based on a true story.
Real
That's
life
dark.
right there.
A collection that I've done such a great
Mhm.
job of steering away from because it's so expensive. Is systems,
Oh.
consoles, PS4s.
Oh, systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PS4s very specifically. So I was very torn because I had originally the white, just plain white PS4. I'd actually waited. I didn't want the black one. I waited for because I knew something was coming, and so I waited. I got that one. Ended up regretting it because that Destiny white one with like the golden bezel and whatever the fuck that one came out. I was like, fucking it.
Like, God damn it.
Later on, I got another. I added on to the collection by getting the 1 terabyte slim gold PS4.
Beautiful.
Oof, it was so nice. I had that baby set up and everything. It was so good. But I actually ended up trading that one in. I traded both of them in. I ended up getting a Pro. And then from there, I ended up getting the God of War Pro. And now I also have the Spider-Man Pro. So it was kind of hard not getting the Kingdom Hearts 3 Pro.
Wait, you have these systems?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
I was like, mine, I have the Gears of War 4 Xbox One S right there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
sitting there.
yeah.
It's like, I begged this one for Christmas. I really wanted that. He ended up getting it for me. He was like,
It messed me
it's
up
ours.
because it was the 500 million PS4, the blue transparent one.
Mhm.
Oh my god, you have no idea how bad I fought myself. I was like, I have a credit card. Like, like I was straight up gonna do it, and then from there, of course, the Kingdom Hearts 3 one got finally announced for the US release, and I was like, I have
Our
a credit
buddy
card.
Ryan
Like,
was,
I have
like,
a credit card.
upset because he wanted that so bad. And he missed it because they were doing pre-orders. And we'll talk about this, and hopefully he'll hear this too, because I actually remembered this.
Yeah.
He was upset because he wanted it, and when he wanted to go pre-order it, they were already done.
Dude, yeah, it's like if you weren't there within like the first fucking hour, it's like, good luck.
And
See
he
you
was
later,
at
guys.
work that day,
Mhm.
and he was upset. He was like,
It's- it really is one of those. I don't know for like, because I was there like 2.5, almost 3 years with GameStop, and I don't know how many times where it was literally one of those where if you weren't in a GameStop when you heard the news, you weren't getting anything.
What? Yeah.
That's insane. Like, it's so crazy being able to watch something go from like a green pre-orderable to red. Like, you can't touch it anymore. It's like, oh, like.
You look at it, you're like,
It's like,
Should've
yeah,
done
right,
it.
like that's cool. Yeah,
Should've
it's
done it.
fine. It's not like I wanted one. Fuckface. Like
everyone that picks it up, oh, go fuck yourself. Like,
yeah. But
nah.
like because of GameStop, I found myself in like such lucky moments. Like because of Spider-Man. Like I'm massive into Spider-Man. Like it was so wonderful for me, like growing up and being able to, I guess, essentially relate to Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I get you.
How every young man does.
Yeah, I know. I used to want to be a photographer.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I,
it's
I
just-
couldn't fucking take pictures for shit. when I
It's
was
so
younger,
cool. Yeah.
But you
I was
wanna
like,
be
I'ma do it.
photographer.
Yeah, and so for when this game came out, and of course for this one, I stayed on top of it, like as far as info and everything. I stayed on top of it, and I for sure wanted to get the system, so I pre-ordered the system. I was able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, I skipped on the collector's edition. Turns out, while I was working there, right, someone ended up not picking one up, so I ended up getting everything for the game. It was so fantastic.
Dude, well, I mean, it's good to see, good to hear a story of a fan getting something that they
need.
really want.
Dude, and actually that's actually a thing, like right above my one, because like I have like my entertainment area, and like I have like movies on one side, I have my 2 Aladdin moments up here, and then like my collector's edition game guides, and then my Spider-Man pops. I have a couple One Piece statues, and then right there is the collector's edition statue of Spider-Man with the steelbook case.
Oh,
And then under that is like a good chunk of One Piece statues. So yeah,
I got chills whenever you said the Spider-Man one. I was like, with the steel book, I'm like, oh.
I like that. I think I started collecting statues because GameStop was having a sale on their Iron Fist and their Luke Cage, and I wanted them. And then they're Jessica Jones, and then they're
Dude, that
Daredevil, but I never found the GameStop Daredevil, and that pissed me off because I was like, what the hell? And then Jessica Jones is back to a regular price, and I was like,
Jessica Jones looked derpy to me, dude.
yeah, they didn't. She didn't look too good, but it was like, but to me, it was like,
Statues look derpy,
it was like, I was like, I still want her because
It
it's
was
like
Jessica
I need all four. You know what I mean? Like,
bad.
yeah,
like,
she
it
doesn't look like
was-
Jessica Jones, but
No.
my thing wasn't so much.
It was like that. Oh, fuck! It was what was the movie? It was like they fucked her up as bad as fucking Dr. Gloop or something like that from like Spy Kids.
Oh,
Fluke.
Yeah,
Fluglies.
yeah, where he gets all fucked up.
Oh no, that's the other dude where he puts on like foreheads or whatever. Yeah,
they fucked her up. Dude.
the one that you're supposed to be in line with the others.
Yeah, dude.
You're supposed to be in line with the
They
others.
fucked her up. That was like the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I saw Luke Cage and I was like, I want him, so I got him.
The Iron
It's
Fist.
$25, and then the Iron Fist is punching the ground. And I was
Yeah.
like, I want that one, 25. So I have them on my bookshelf, and then I wanted the Daredevil, but I never found the Daredevil, so I was like, shit. And then I remember it pissed me off because the Iron Fist was on the GameStop site, and I saw it one time, and I was looking at it, and then I went the next day to GameStop, and I was like, oh, do y'all have this Iron Fist? But I didn't screenshot, so I have the girl looking in the computer, and I'm looking on my phone, and I can't find it anywhere. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So like almost a week later, the girl's like, I'm so sorry. Like she goes, if you find it, like just let me know. And almost a week later, it just randomly popped up back in the site, and I was like, yeah, it's right here. And then sent it, I put it on a hold at a store, and fucking got it for $25. The original price was like 50. So
If I ever got a Daredevil statue, I would want it to be where he's like.
I want it with his
He's,
stick. Yeah.
Hold on. No, he's looking for his stick.
No.
Like it's like right there in front of him. But
What
it's
is it,
like,
season 3 where he goes back to fight again after he hadn't fought in forever? And he's kind of getting his ass somewhat whooped, and he's just on the floor, like on his knees in like his old costume, bleeding, and like kind of like that.
I would want that
I would,
right
I would
there.
want something like that. That'd be
I
pretty
want
fucking
that.
cool.
That sounds like something. Yeah.
That sounds like a scene.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but I think they're Diamond Select. There's but they have some pretty badass ones from Infinity War, man. They have Thor where he's holding a Stormbreaker, and the electricity's hitting the Stormbreaker and shit. It looks dope. They have the Flash where the Flash is running.
I
and
love when
electricity's hitting
fucking
off of the.
statues do that shit because it just makes you want to like spray paint those parts like
Oh,
glow in the
like
dark
yeah,
and shit.
it's crazy, man.
Ooh, he's like,
And so those are the
my
only two
goodness.
statues I have because I was like, because this is when around the first time we just started the podcast, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with the statues, but it's tempting, man. I get on Amazon, they have all the ones from Infinity War. They have Arrow and the Flash, and I'm just like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna start.
You're like,
Get Marvel Legends goes to statues.
For Marvel Legends statue, and I'm still gonna get Marvel Legends. And now that I know that NECA's taking over, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but NECA's doing the Fortnite figures. They're doing the Game of Thrones figures, and now NECA has the DC rights.
I never stepped in.
I'm sorry, not
I
NECA.
couldn't-
I'm a
stepped in.
NECA fan. Yeah, I'm a NECA. He's a
I
NECA fan
couldn't-
as
I
well.
couldn't step
So
in.
no, it's not NECA. McFarlane right now is doing the Fortnite figures. They're doing the Game of Thrones, and now they're getting the DC merchandise. So McFarlane's gonna start putting out 6-inch figures of.
I'm cool with the other two, but why Fortnite?
I
Because of
mean,
money.
yeah, and like because I love Fortnite. I
It
love
sells
it.
though.
I love
It's
it.
trash.
I mean, people say it's trash, but I mean, like,
It's made for little kids to
Then
start
I'm
a one-player shooter.
then I'm doing
when
that.
you
I'm
grew
only.
up on Gears of
I didn't
War
grow up on
and
that
Call
shit.
of Duty.
I grew up on Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario. I sucked at fucking games.
Then why do you play a shooter game like Fortnite?
Because Fortnite was the easiest fucking thing to grab. It wasn't that hard to do. And I was like, this is for me.
No, it's made for children.
That was I fucking play with toys. It was for me. I was like, this is so easy. I could shoot a person. I would get anxiety when I would go to my friends to play Halo. I would get fucking
That's
anxiety.
the best feeling, though.
No, it wasn't. Not me. I can't breathe.
God
I'm like, I'm fucking dying. I'm fucking dying. I can't. It's just a
In
game. Like, you know, I would go and people were like, don't even get mad at the controller. It fucking sucks. So I was like, yo, don't. I fucking hate games anyways.
Watch,
And I
you're
go
like,
on this-
hey, we're
I
gonna invite you
don't
over.
even play this shit.
The
What
only
up?
games that I would play is if I could see the fucking characters. So the Spider-Man games
So
I
Resident
had.
Evil?
Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2.
Resident Evil, dude?
I didn't play Resident Evil. I didn't.
That way you could see the character.
That for me is a heartbreak.
Resident Evil? No.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying that I hated it, but you gotta understand when I was younger.
Oh, that's
there was
right.
there were certain boundaries on what I can do. Like I was a Christian
I was
home.
raised as a savage.
Well, I was raised as like, my dad, who I'm not on good terms with right now, fucking fake. Okay, was very, like strict on like what we can listen to, what we can watch, what we can play as far as video games went. And I grew up in like this really sheltered, like, how am I going to be a Christian to people who don't know God if I can't even relate? Like, I kind of need to break out of this. And so it was like, man, like my dad people at church tried to tell my dad that Pokemon was bad. I remember when that happened, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, because of Pokemon.
I was so mad. Yeah, he's like,
background.
He's like, oh, because the brother from the church told me that Pokemon means pocket monster, and that's satanic. I'm like, no, Dad, it's a fucking Pokeball that you keep in your pocket. Of course, it's a fucking pocket monster. A pocket monster. It makes sense. And then my dad was like, I don't know about that. I have to look into that. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be satanic as well. And I was like,
bro,
damn, like you Christian, you. And I'm still Christian. Don't hate Christians. I just fucking hated the shit that like I had to go through to enjoy life. And that's why Resident Evil wasn't in the fucking. It wasn't in my house because it was like
Dead Space wasn't
like
all that good.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't. Yeah, all these cool games that people grew up playing. Like I'm sitting there, like, dude, people freak out when they're bumping like some old music from the early 2000s, and I know a lot of music, I do, but sometimes they'll play a song that I don't know, and they're like, how the fuck do you not know this song? I'm like, bro, dude, I can name like 20 Christian bands that I was listening to the time that song released, but I cannot name this song. And they're like, oh, why? I'm like, that's your answer, man. Thank God somebody was created that was like, yo, let's make MP3s and iPods, because that's the only thing that broke me into being able to listen to my own shit. Like everything everything was in a CD player. You know, everything was. I loved my CD player, but my parents would check on my shit, and so I had friends burn me CDs. I had them burn me All American Rejects, Fall Out Boy, the High School Musical soundtrack. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I had that too.
Wow, I need real shit.
And I would listen to that at night. I would go to bed and listen to it, and I would pray to God that I wouldn't fall asleep, because I didn't want them to walk in and see, you know. So that night before I went to sleep, I'd put a Christian CD over.
It sounds like you're literally explaining to me, you're like, I don't want to go to sleep, like, because it literally sounds like it equates to getting caught masturbating.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, in this case, it's like I'd rather be caught, man. You know, because then my parents would be like, "Okay, you're discovering yourself." Like, all right, but no, man. I would make sure to stay. The music.
As a child, you did do that, and they would let you lock your own door, and you could get away with all of that.
I'd be like so mad at like if they let me like just jack off.
Yes.
Like they were.
But that was your gateway to use your music.
Stay in your cage, you fucking animal. Like,
oh, you dirty kid! I'm gonna whack off when I get in here. Oh, my dick's about to fill this. And they just plug in the All American Rejects, and I'm like, and then they're like, the things at the door. They're like, oh, maybe he likes to listen to music to get into the.
Come on!
He's a fucking preteen. Leave him alone.
Leave Manuel alone.
Oh my god!
My hands are shaking. Your hands. We're talking about hands. You need a hand to do this.
I
think he's getting the hang of it.
He's got it.
Yeah,
he's
but
watched your video, maybe helping him.
But no, like, oh, dude, man, I don't hate my parents for it, because I'm not gonna say I was tortured listening to Christian music. A lot of people think I am, but I mean, you hear like. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, now, people listen to NF all the time now, right? And people don't realize NF was a Christian rapper. Like, I was trying to put people on NF in 2014, and nobody was buying it. I was like, dude, this guy's good, lyricism's great, but I would mention, oh, he's a Christian, and people were like, oh, he can't be good. And now I hear him, and I see him like making moves and shit, and like I hear him in stores, and I'm like, dude, like I told y'all this. This guy he doesn't consider himself a Christian rapper or label himself that anymore, but that's where he started. Like, he started in CHH and started in Christian bookstores and stuff like that. And like, now y'all are like, huh?
Christian rapper?
No, he considers he's a Christian, but he's like, I'm not gonna label myself CHH because I mean, and I don't hate when people do that, because it's like you don't go around telling people with your lawn service, I'm a Christian mower. You know, I'm a like what? Like, I mean, you're just more like, no, I'm a Christian doctor, you know. But I feel like, as I said before, nobody was listening to NF, right? Because I would mention Christian rapper, and they discouraged them. So now that he's not like he's still Christian and he's still making music, but now because he doesn't use that label, look how many people have picked up his stuff and like, yo, this dude's actually good. this dude's actually great. You know what I mean?
I
It
can
really
vouch
depends
for
on like
that.
the genre of
And-
success.
but
depending on
it's
the
really cool to
industry.
see like these people move up. You know, like another one that's coming up is Lauren Daigle. Like she's on every American Idol, every The Voice. Like her music's being played like crazy now. And
That's
these
how
are
I
just
felt
people
about
that
Trippie
like
Redd.
it's crazy because it's like these are just people that like people didn't put them on at one point because it was like it's Christian music. But I'm like, I will admit some of the Christian music I grew up listening to was shitty. It was crappy, and I remember just being like, this song's stupid, but I would be scared to say it because I thought like I'd be bashing God if I said it. But it's like I told my parents, if I can hate this rapper who doesn't sing Christian music, I just think he's like has shit music, and I can do the same for this. Not just because you're singing for God means you're good at it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some of it sucked, and you know, so I never say I was tortured listening to music because I did grow up with what
But
I
it
liked. There
opened
was
up the, you know,
The-
your eyes to a lot more things other than just one-sided conversation
Dude, I
and
had the
stuff.
complete opposite, man. Like straight up, like the CDs that I was able to upload onto my MP3 are, dude, I shit you not, consistent of these things: Cumbia Kings,
Mhm.
Rob Zombie, NSYNC.
I agree with you.
Like you know, like
Yeah.
dude, like as far as like four, like or like three, like just
Yeah.
majorly like three different things. Lamb of God,
Oh, okay.
Pure Disco. What like straight up, dude? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like I had such a variety of music growing up. Usher,
Oh, okay.
Eminem.
had an Usher CD, Queen,
Queen.
Queen's Greatest Hits. I remember that one. It was the maroon disc. Yeah, dude, like just massive like staples in essentially like these groups of genres.
Yeah, it's crazy that like just like,
And like I still have that same style of music today. It's pretty cool.
it's crazy to say like because like even with music, my mother saw that I enjoyed it and that it spoke to me. Like my mother would see it, and then I would come to her and be like, "Yo, I heard a song on the radio today on the bus, and it's not a Christian song, but the song has meaning and like it's good, you know, and like it's good music." And I remember my mom just being like, "Well, look, you can listen whenever you want, just don't listen around your dad." Because I know the way he gets. She goes, but if I had to say something on this, y'all could be able to listen whatever y'all want because music's music.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she goes, I had to put a boundary on everything I grew up listening to. I can't listen to Journey anymore. I can't listen to this. I can't listen to this. She's like, how do you think that makes me feel? And I remember just being like, oh, that's so true. And I remember getting into arguments with my dad, being like, just because it's not a Christian artist doesn't mean it's not a good song. Doesn't mean it can't have meaning. And I was like, you need to understand that. No, because the Bible says, and I was like, it doesn't matter what the Bible says. I'm not bashing the Bible, but I'm like, how do you know that these people don't know God in their own way? And I was like, you're just cutting them off because they don't claim Christianity. And then he would be like, I still don't agree with it. But my mother would be like, in your own time, away from the house. So when I got the money to get my first MP3 player, that's when everything fucking changed. That's when I was able to like, I didn't have to go to my sister's car to listen to Eminem disc anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be with my sister to listen to secular music who had
Linkin
moved
Park.
out, you know.
Eminem.
Linkin Park, exactly.
Like,
I only had that experience when I was at my sister's house.
Punk.
You know, when I got my MP3 player, dude,
Mhm.
fucking man, I uploaded that thing with Eminem,
Britney
Linkin Park,
Spears.
everybody. I had everybody in there, and I remember just like jamming it to myself, and nobody can tell me anything because it was like I'm not bothering anybody.
Mhm.
I'm in my own world. My dad would be like, "Yo, can I borrow your MP3?" And I'm like, "Hell no, you can't, because no."
You have your own, buy your own.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you know, go
yeah.
get your own. Because, but yeah, man, I have a love for all types of music now. And I don't want to say that out loud because then somebody made a meme the other day that was like when they say they like all types of music and you start playing death metal, and I was like, okay,
Oh yeah,
I like a
that's
variety
another
of
thing.
music, you
Like,
know what I
I
mean?
wrestled a bear once. Fucking like yeah, like
you.
plenty of fucking bands. Like, dude, it's like one of those really
Upon
crazy
every
things.
single-
What is it? A Color Morale.
I saw the Color Morale live.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh,
I saw them with
Their
the Devil Wears
front-
Prada in Fort today.
I actually got to meet the front man. You know,
Oh, shit.
he is the best. He is a Christian man,
Yeah.
and him talking to him because when
Mhm.
they came to Corpus, he came with Skylar. He came with Bless the Fall. I
Bless
think
the
it was
Fall.
what
That was another band I
a
used to
year
listen to.
back. I went whenever they were at Bridge Street. Their van actually broke down. They got almost into an accident,
Mhm.
basically, on the way going to Corpus. No, on the way going to Corpus. It was in San Antonio coming down here. And they were like, we don't know if we're going to make it. And I'm like, I only bought my ticket to see y'all. Like, every time they come, I usually buy a ticket to see them.
Mm-hmm.
We Came as Romans or Crown the Empire anytime that they come, or Dance Gavin Dance, just depending if they come down, because usually Corpus is not a main.
Oh, no, Wake Came as Romans came.
It's like that every.
I actually have their jacket on.
It's like they skip us and then like they come back again. Like
We Came as Romans. It's been 7 years since they've been down here, and their front man Kyle passed away about 6 months ago. When they came down, it was kind of like a heart-wrenching thing because we were the first show for them being on tour. And then they're like, hey, you know, it's a hard time because this is what we're going through and all of that. I'm like, everyone in the crowd, like, you hear, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to cry because, like, I mean, the last time we saw him, they had Kyle. And then the time we're seeing him now, it's like, he's not there.
Who's that?
Like, but I mean, they said they're going to keep it just as a 5-piece. They're not going to find anybody to replace him, which is like, I'm like, you know, but
yeah, that's.
But like I said, I met the front man for the
Color
Morale.
Yeah.
Real sweet guy. Like I told him, I was like, hey, you helped me in a time that was very rough for me. He's like, oh, I appreciate that, man. Like, I'm glad you're still here with us. And I was like, I have a friend that's no longer with us, but you know, he listened to your music too. But I mean, if you were here, like not like here, but like if your music really helped him to a certain extent. But I mean,
if you were here, he'd tell you the same thing.
Yeah. And he was like, oh my God. I was like, because it was the week of his anniversary of passing too. So it was like, you know, I told him and he was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, but I'm here. Like, at least I'm getting to meet you. And he's like, oh, that's very nice of you being here. And I'm like, I like you a lot. Like,
really dope.
Thank you for your time. And like, after they got off set, I was like, time for me to go. Like, I'm for a job.
Like, bye guys.
Bye guys. I'm done.
Nice concert.
Most of the time from there, like if I like let's say like the band that I'm there for like is mid set or like the beginning of the set, like I just go to the back and I'll just chill for at least, because it's like it's one of those like I paid for an entire show. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna watch some shit go down because shit always goes down. But I'm gonna do it from the safety of the back.
See, like whenever I went for We Came as Romans, it was on this past week or this week Monday. Like at first, whenever I got there, it was like dead. Like there's maybe like a good, I would say 20 people that are there. Yeah. Maybe. And then like all of a sudden when I turned around for We Came as Romans just to see who was here, I was like, oh God damn. Everyone just decided to pop up. And then once Crown the Empire came, because that's where I mainly came for only the first 2 bands. I mean, Crown the Empire came out, like this drunk dude was getting all like pissy or whatever, and he fucking hit me in the face for no reason. I got mad and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll hit you back. And like the lead singer was like, hey man, if you're gonna be like a fucktard, you know, get the fuck out of here. Like everyone in the crowd was like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. Like, you know, but they had security there, just kind of calm down, like, oh, you know, stay over there, you know, leave everybody else alone. Because like in front of us there was other littler kids than me in the front, and he's all fucking with them. Like, you know, if you're gonna be here, you can go. Like,
no shit.
I was like, yeah, you paid your ticket to have fun, but like,
so did they.
Yeah, so did they. Like,
so did everyone else.
Yeah, but no longer.
I always like when they oblige the majority, and they're like, yeah, no, get the fuck out. Like,
he cracked me up. Like the front man Andy from Crown the Empire, he's best guy ever. He's my age, living the rock star life. Like literally, I'm like, oh my God. How? I have them tattooed on my arm actually too, and he was in the front. They're actually born and raised here in Dallas, Texas, so kind of bonded. They went to the same school that Post Malone went to school with. They were best friends, everything. Like they know each other. I'm waiting for them to do a collab, so I'm like, fingers crossed. Please do. It would be nice. But he was in the crowd and he had like actually broke his finger. He's like, you're wondering how I broke my finger because you see me pointing at everybody. And he's like, at the count of 3, we'll say it all together. And we're like, okay, you broke your finger because you did this. He's like, no, I did it because I put a butt plug up my... And he's, oh, sorry, guys. That's very X-rated. And he's like, I'm just kidding. I never did that. And he walked away. I was like,
Can you imagine that? Like, just going up your own ass and then getting startled by yourself? And then yanking and like breaking your own finger. That's
like, be gentle.
With yourself. Like you're having
gentle.
It's my first time.
Yeah. You're just breaking a small.
Now, imagine telling somebody like the people at the emergency room, like, so how did you break it? Oh, I was trying to finger my butt and
I got startled.
Got scared. You got a pretty tight butthole.
It was one of those me to me moments.
Trying to find myself.
Oh my God.
trying to discover what I liked and didn't like about it.
I just wanted to see what's yay or nay for the
Yeah.
next lady that comes into my life.
Yeah,
It was one of those where I realized I'd always said, "You never know."
yeah.
And this is what I didn't want to know.
Oh my
I live in
God.
an age where I thought maybe girls were only getting their butts eaten out, but guys are too. And I just wanted to know that
There was
if I enjoyed it, it wasn't weird.
Oh my God.
Man, that's bad.
So what's our next topic, boys?
Hey,
You want to ask a question?
Not really ask a question, but
One of
more
the many
likely
questions.
we skip like the whole main intro.
Oh shoot.
You know what? The first things first.
But
So what's
we
your
don't.
story and how you got into collecting? They kind of skipped over all that.
oh yeah, dude.
What's the main reason?
Like, what's the main reason as far
Or-
as collecting? Okay, so whenever I started collecting, I had gotten really into Rick and Morty. Just in general, I was really into Rick and Morty. The overall comedy and how it was like executed at the time was fantastic. And so of course working once again at GameStop, I'd already been there a little bit of time, and I had seen some of these pops come in, and I was like, yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? And so I got the beginning 3, you know, the Rick, Morty, Doofus Morty, or Doofus Rick. And yeah, and then from there, that literally is what took it off. And then it just literally became things that were just whatever retro for me. Like I ended up getting Powerline literally just because the Goofy movie was such a massive part of my childhood. It was literally one of those where sometimes I would literally just repeat the movie because I still have it. It's so wonderful. It's sitting on my bookshelf right now, a Goofy movie on VHS. And I'm actually thinking about going to like a pawn shop, just fucking picking up a VHS just to fuck off with like the VHSs that I have. Like I've the first 2 Star Wars films on VHS. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Godfather trilogy on VHS.
Yeah,
So-
like to me, like VHS was like such a time in technology where it's like, please be kind and rewind. What? You know what I'm saying?
When you
Like,
went to Blockbuster and you got a movie from the VHS
Yeah.
section and you got home and it wasn't rewind, you're like, oh god damn it! Like,
always upset because you push it in, and right before you push it in, you'd watch what says be kind, rewind, go into there, and you're like, success, and then you would see the credits, and you're like, what's the point?
you're like, why rent a movie if you can't rewind it back?
What's the point? I bet you live in the ghetto.
Your rewind button is broken.
It's aggressive. No, but yeah, that's literally what started. And then from there, like as I said, like it's just literally it was anything, because it was one of those where it was like a little fire that would woof, you know, because I already have like a pretty bad collector's habit to begin with. And so when I get started on something, I have to collect the set. And so it became with Rick and Morty where I had gotten so many, and I had started to pay a little bit over what was retail. And that's when I'd realized I had an issue.
And this is your intervention.
yeah, that's what I realized an issue. But to me, it was really worth it because that's my fandom.
Mhm.
And so it's at the end of the day, it's a worth it factor
Mhm.
for me. And it was totally worth it. Like now I'm not really into Rick and Morty all too much. So I have like all of these that I kind of want to get rid of. But it's just, they're there, and it's still to me like a part cool.
He's like, we're there to help you out.
That's cool, man.
I mean, if you want to see them, I'll let you know.
Yeah, no, I still love Rick and Morty. I think the fan base has gotten a little crazy.
Dude, like that's what I'm saying.
Kind of ruins
Like
it
for me,
sometimes.
it's a full
All over it.
picture. Yeah, it's a
Exactly,
full
21
picture
bucks.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first got into Rick and Morty, and for like a good chunk of time, like there was a consistent fan base,
Mhm.
and like it dropped off and like kind of got weird, and like there was just like too big of like a difference in the community.
Yeah.
So it was one of those where it's just like
And are you really a fan, or are you just a fan of being a fan?
it really confused me, and so I don't know. I just kind of like the entire thing started to like genuinely disinterest me, and I was like, dude, like that's not even cool. Like I was enjoying this shit.
I think it is that, right? You said 21 Pilots. What I try to do is just like I like something, I enjoy it, and then like after a while, just keep it to myself because like you said, like the Rick and Morty fan base, the 21 Pilots fan base,
Yeah.
like, they got weird, and I was just like,
If you bring it
Yeah.
up, like I said, the 21 Pilots thing, you bring it up, they'll look at you like, oh, so did you hear Blurryface? And you're like, they have more discs before that. Like, don't just bring up just that. And they're like, but Blurryface is amazing. This and that. Did you hear Trench? Trench is trash. I'm like, excuse me? Like,
You're trash.
you're trash. Like, you know, like, it just gets to the point bad where you get bad. Like, they just go off on you and you're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I've been a fan for this long, and
Yeah.
then they're like, well, I've been a fan for like 4 months long, and
I
you're
never
like, well,
understand how like a community can never get along at like certain points. It's just like what?
it's
You just-
anarchy.
you
That's
don't
what it
even-
is.
You don't even know.
That's like how big all the population got. Too sucky.
Yeah, yeah. But no, like when the newer Aladdin sets came out, oh man, I jumped on those like oof.
So that's what got you. The Rick and Morty is what got you. into
Rick and
collecting.
Morty's was started, and then from there was Disney's, man. And then from there was Marvel, like the Iron Man, Spider-Man, stuff like that, yeah.
Hey. And then, next question.
Okay. What is the weirdest thing you ever collected out of your whole collection? What's the weirdest
Flashlights.
flashlights?
It's like my anime pillows.
Like, why do we even have this?
We got one guy that said flashlights, one guy that said condoms.
My God.
Man, my weirdest collection? Huh. That to me is kind of like a good question because I don't know what I would consider a weird thing in my like a weird collection.
Toenails,
It's
fingernails.
Furbies. Not me.
Fuck Furbies right
Nose
now.
hairs.
So you're like,
Weird collecting, huh?
Anime pillows.
I mean titties.
No, for sure. Like as far as like straight up honesty, it's a certain style of anime. It's I guess like ecchi style. Like yeah, I guess like that has to be like the weird, yeah, for sure. That has to be the weirdest thing that I collect. It's like specifically that certain style on Hulu. For like if you want a solid example, there's an anime called High School DD or get High School DxD. That gives you a solid representation of
everyone's like,
yeah,
like,
yeah. On Hulu, once upon a time, there was an anime called Sekiro or Sekire.
I have Hulu. I can just
Like, yeah, like no, they're fantastic. What is it? To Love Ru is another one.
Okay, it's little anime titties.
Yeah. Heaven's Lost Property, if you've seen that.
You'll get along with our other friend.
with our
Aaron.
friend Aaron.
Yeah, like that has to be like, yeah, that for sure.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
for sure. Yeah,
You're like,
Yeah.
we'll have to look into
Our friend Aaron.
Aaron.
for sure.
He loves it.
But it's not really because of that. Like, it's just I don't know. Like the story's cool and it shows everything.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like to me, like that's the, like it doesn't really hold back as far as
Should I full
animation.
nudes on that animation?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like not necessarily
On
like, as
Hulu?
far as like actual like genitalia, but like they show
Oh,
like
okay.
nipple. They'll show like a flat surface for like females, and for males they don't really concentrate at all.
Mm.
Oh,
like
what?
Yeah, no. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that recently. How like
ever.
they block like males.
Yeah,
Like, no, I
ever.
was just in general, like even in like movies about sex, like
Yeah.
the female has to show so much more.
Yeah,
And I was
that's
like,
just it's just like
Sexist.
yeah, that's
and I
literally
was like,
just
show a dude's pee-pee. Like,
yeah.
like if you're gonna have a girl straight out,
Yeah, but like it's essentially like the styles of anime that I like, but just they show full story
okay.
because there was like that Darling in the Franxx anime that I referenced to earlier.
Mhm.
That in the manga shows
A lot
everything
more.
because there's a ton of scenes in the anime where things are like fogged out or blocked off
Mhm.
by like bars of light or whatever,
Mhm.
and it just I don't know, it's like not a solid, or like certain scenes are just entirely cut out.
Mm.
It's just like, dude, like sometimes it doesn't even show much. It's just like just cut. So that's
Yeah.
You just see scenes.
So you would say
Yeah.
in your opinion that's like your weirdest.
yeah, no, honestly, yeah, for sure. Because I've like a solid stack. Like yeah,
Oh, okay. Hey, man. Hey, you like what you like?
I enjoy it.
This
Yeah.
could be worse.
No.
H.
Okay, what's the one item you like get away? The one I got away kind of reference.
It would have been that metallic weed set had I not got it recently. Honestly,
That was almost your.
That was almost.
that would because like as soon as that opportunity opened, like once again I felt like kind of that moment where I was like clicking like,
Yeah.
and I had him. Like it was literally one of those where I did pay like an incredible price, but like I had him. Like he's part of my collection now. So that was for me a really, really cool moment. Getting a hold of, because I collected all of the Steven Universe pops for
Oh, my daughter's gonna love you.
yeah.
She loves.
Yeah, I collected all of them, and It was one of those where I'd missed out on the Hot Topic exclusive, the gems. Like it was like 3 gems or something like that were exclusives.
Pink diamond.
No, it was the beginning set.
Oh, the begin. Oh.
I had gotten Pink Diamond. I got Stevani. I got like all of them except
So you missed,
the beginning.
missed
darn
Amethyst. Oh, she has all of those.
Yeah,
They're out of box of you.
Yeah. Now so do I. Now so do I. But it's one of those where it was just had to get them. I also collected some of the Diamond series, for Funko as well. So I had like Ursula. I had someone else too. I think Winnie the Pooh. I think.
And so as far as the one that got away, you got the ones that
I got the one that got away, and then the one that I would have regretted had gotten away. It was the one that I literally before my last purchases I had gotten. This one was the flocked chopper from One Piece.
Oh, okay.
My original idea was I was never gonna get him because I already have one. It's the same thing, but flock. Like to me, that didn't bother me. It's my fandom. You know what I'm saying? But it's a pop.
Yeah.
I got him because I was like, you're gonna regret it. So I ended up still picking him up.
Dang, that's like the Pennywise exclusive. That glows in the dark, the one that Albert had at the shop recently. I passed on it because I already had the pop, and I'm like, it glows in the dark. I just like,
what's that? What do you? Yeah.
You know, but I think that sometimes hits too. Like, I still need it though.
Yeah, like it's literally it's where it's kind of at the end of the day it goes back to like worth the factor where your fandom lies.
Yeah.
It's like fuck no, dude, I love One Piece.
Well, I mean that's dope that you have because I have I have a list of things that I let slip out of my hands, and to this day I'm like really upset about it.
I'm still upset about the 8-bit, the arcade thing from Target with all the Stranger Things.
Yeah,
that's one I wanted to get it for so long. I don't know if they still have it or not, but like that's one I want. But I want not like single, like individual. I want the whole arcade piece. Like that's the one thing.
The Venomized Ghost Rider. I still don't have that one.
I don't have him either. It just hit me the day.
I still don't have him, and that's the one
and
out of I have all the Venomized ones that I want. I have the Venomized Black Panther. I have the Venomized Iron Man. I have I have Venom, of course.
The Hulk?
No, I didn't want the Hulk. I didn't want Captain America, but I wanted Venomized Ghost Rider.
I'm trying to get all of them because I have like the original Venoms and Carnages. So
yeah, when I saw Anti-Venom and all that, I was like, oh shit, those look good too.
I know. That's I
was like, mess me up. And then they did the box where he's jumping.
Yeah, I was like, come on, stop, please.
I was like,
Funko's like,
bend over, boy. I'll rape you some more.
Like that box, aside from like the Pop and Tea, that was kind of a bullshit box to me for the Venom Funko on Amazon.
They do that all the time, dude. That's just like the metallic Flash figure that they just released.
Yeah.
In the show, I was like, I want the figure. I want the pop, but I don't want the t-shirt. I don't want it. Damn. So, dude, that's probably like I think out of all our guests, they all had something that they hadn't got their hands on, right?
Yeah.
And you have the one that almost got away.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, the podcast over.
After 10 long episodes.
Yeah.
We come down to this.
Next great question, Mr. Nick H.
All right. Well, since you have all the pops, I guess you said you wanted or whatever.
Pretty much.
What is your dream release that has not been made?
Oh, dude, that kind of goes back to One Piece, brother. Honestly, I kind of want Jinbei. So Jinbei is this guy.
They haven't made a pop of him?
They haven't made one.
They have not made one.
Dude, just looking at that took me back to when I was a kid. Dude.
So Jinbei,
can you think of him as a glow in the dark version? Just his blue skin.
Possibly not anything actually having to do with him, but it would have to be one of his actual one of his moves. He's a fishman, so he actually has like a lot of like water techniques. So he would do like a fist. And like it's already surrounded in water or something, you know what I'm saying? I can imagine like the water being glowing in the dark.
Pretty cool if like they put him on a little base and the water's coming up.
Yes, dude.
That'd be pretty dope.
That would be dope.
Most likely landed Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Aang that's in flying.
Yes.
On the Hot Topic exclusive one. Yeah. That sounds super dope.
I would want to see one of Aang like where the moment where where he goes back to the temple and he has that moment where he's lifted and like his ball of fucking.
Oh, that would be dope.
That one, where like just
Funko,
where his
listening.
glow
is
his fucking.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm telling you, dude. Right?
It's coming.
Emerald
coming this year.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
They heard us.
Yeah.
We're not listening in though. Every
Right.
time we say Funko,
We're not stealing ideas.
We have
like,
thoughts.
yeah.
every time you mention.
Tell
So far, man, these guys on the ball with all your questions, Nick.
Huh?
You gotta throw a curveball, sir. He's got an answer to every single one of your questions.
That's what you should be able to answer all these questions.
You ever hear like the people that we get sometimes that are just like, "Oh, dude, that's a pretty hard one. I haven't really thought about that." And this guy's like, "You were locked and loaded." I've been studying
He's
Nick.
like-
It's scripted.
I've been studying Nick. I went and listened to every single one of the Population podcasts before y'all pick me up.
Do my notes.
No,
Joe pulls out his laptop. He's like,
What are you doing? It's all stuck in my own profile.
Looks at own hand,
That's
right?
crazy. That's crazy.
he's like, oh damn, I smudged this one.
right.
I'm gonna have to guess on this one.
Yeah.
Go with my gut.
Go with the guts.
Go with the guts. Guts and glory.
Damn.
I don't know.
I was gonna say it was about Pops.
Pops from regular show?
Shoot him off. I'm your man.
Oh, dude, no, it was. They need to make Drake and Josh Funko Pops. There you go. That's what I was saying.
Dude. They would fuck you up. You know why?
They
Because
would.
they'd make a Drake, they'd make a Josh, they'd make a combo pack. Where's the
And then
same
make an
fucking
exclusive
Pops?
Megan.
Dude.
Like,
No, they need to do
Dude.
no, Crazy Steve, fucking Davin, right?
Think about it. Wait,
Gavin. There you go. I'm
wait,
sorry, I
think-
said it in the
Think
car.
about this.
Yeah,
a
man.
movie moment with Crazy Steve and Josh whenever he eats the
Dude,
enchiladas.
Fuck that. Movie
No,
moment
movie moment where
they
he's screaming
strip.
at, huh? Really big strip with it. I will give you $20.
No,
Yes.
no,
Better yet,
fuck, no,
a movie
fuck.
moment where fucking
They're
Crazy
stuck
Steve
in
is
the-
screaming at the TV saying, "I'm not the explorer,
Oh
Nora.
my
You are."
No,
Fuck yeah.
movie moment when they're stuck inside the damn tree because
Oh,
they couldn't cut
Let's
up
bring
the
back the snow con.
A movie moment where they're hugging.
Megan. Megan.
Movie moment when Drake says, "Whoa, just take it easy, man."
Yes!
Oh my
Hey,
God.
a movie moment where he's like, "I ain't the theater dog. My name's Antoine."
That
Funko, where are you at?
Dude,
With
man,
the
that'd be a
rebirth
fucking
of
line.
Drake
And
and
then,
Josh?
you know, fucking Megan's gonna be a Emerald City Comic Con exclusive or San Diego Comic Con. You already
And it's
know.
her, like, two different companies.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be the
Baby
least,
Megan.
the one everybody wants the least. That's gonna be worth the most. Walter.
Yeah.
Walter.
Oh shit, the mom. They just like the
oh,
mom.
shit.
Because
The
the mom didn't
manager,
really ever
Helen.
say much in that.
Helen.
Oh, Helen, fuck yeah. They need Josh in the gold vest as one of the exclusives. Oh, Mindy, make Mindy too.
Yes.
They need to make a combo pack with Mindy and Josh. in the
Dude,
gold
you
vest.
know if they did
The
a Drake
first
and
kid?
Josh set, right? Because they'd have to do that era. So I
So they have to get him, like, thin and chubby. There
No,
you get the
dude,
chubby
like,
Josh
I'm-
and the thin Josh.
I'm talking about like as far as like the shows.
Oh, you gotta
that
get
were
Victoria,
part
Zoe
of it.
101,
Yeah.
iCarly.
I'm
Hold
telling
up.
you,
They
dude,
gotta
Rush.
do Zoe 101 first.
I'm
Yeah.
telling
Then
you,
yeah,
going
we
that
can-
they're gonna
All
they're
that.
gonna
Are
do
you afraid of the
era,
dark?
dude.
My cousin Skeeter.
The
Keenan
Legend of
Kel.
the Hidden Temple.
Keenan and Kill.
The Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Hidden Temple.
You gotta have each
Hey,
one.
man, the show.
The 10-inch temple.
What?
Man, that one could be a
Man.
the girls' room. I like eggs,
The,
Debbie.
the movie theater.
Totally Kyle. Fucking totally Funko.
Where have you been?
Fuck, man, that guy.
But music related, I need me and my Daft Punk little
I want to post Malone.
Oh,
already.
honestly, that would be fantastic.
because they could go
That'd
back
be
to
fantastic.
they could go back to the generation of Interstellar 555. The whole Discovery album right there is
You're all fucking those. I can see that.
I can see that because it's
H101
beautiful.
Pilot Pops.
Yeah, they need to come out already.
They released the Eminem one. Fuck.
They already released Post Malone.
Oh, that they're coming out with
Yeah.
him, right? Oh, I thought you meant they released images already. I was like, yo, where?
Post Malone is in his like maroon suit.
Yeah.
Dude, that Post
They
Malone
got
one's
two
a
I'm
must.
sorry, I like that
tattoos
suit.
on point. Like that suit's
That
beautiful.
suit was a nice suit.
yes, the nicest
That,
one.
That's
I
just
already said
Hey,
I'm,
That's what I'm
suit
saying. Like
suits
that's a nice suit. Like
I'm ready for that.
finally did a good job.
I'm a post.
And then plus the fact that he's like has a cigarette in one and his little cup in the other. That's
And then the tattoos are on point, right? Like to the point
That's
I already
where
what
said,
they
I already
have
said I'm
them.
getting
I
him.
was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Yeah.
I was like, good job, guys.
They have a
Good
Miller one.
Detail.
I'm getting
On,
two
on
pops.
all of the ones that I saw, I was like,
Mac
solid jobs.
Solid.
Mac Miller one. Damn, dude.
If they do
that
Mac,
would be probably a limited exclusive run,
Mhm.
and it could be like,
FYE.
Fuck
that.
I know you want two of them, motherfucker, but they're gonna make that a big deal.
Dude, you already know. Just because he was our gen.
Yeah.
He was our gen. He was literally, I think, 2 years older than me, or two or 1 year.
26.
Yeah,
26. He was a year older than me.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2 or 1 year older than me.
It was 3 months away from 27 Club.
So they ain't 2.
4 months. 4 months because that's December. He was born in January.
Mhm.
4 months away. And the song was like, "Yeah, I never want to join 27 Club." What the fuck does he say? Tell my dealer not to mess with it, not to mess me with that cocaine. I'm trying not to join the 27 Club. It's in
If
Good
Mac
AM,
would have
one of those
pushed,
songs in there.
like kept pushing, like he would have been kind of like his essential genre's Eminem. Like that's what I honestly consider Mac. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like his essential type of hip hop.
I think it was when it came to him, that was weird. When it came to Mac Miller, he was I would say it was kind of like a new, I want to put him in his own sound. It was like, and if you would say Eminem, I would say inspired by. You know what I mean? Because it was, I gotta give the guy credit because his lane was a bit different. You listen to Mac Miller and you're like, okay, the dude's kind of like, you know, like this is nice. You know, this is new. This is fresh. It doesn't feel like it's a repeat. A lot of times when you have like a white rapper come out, everybody wants to compare him to Eminem, and I get that, but you gotta remember Eminem's in his own lane. The dude's like a monster. Like that's
no, but yeah, that's
like
that's
Eminem.
kind of,
Yeah, the go to white rappers. Yeah, that's great.
The lyricy from Mac, I would also put on point with Eminem is also what I'm referring to, because you have to understand, as you know, a Caucasian rapper, they also flow differently, all in all.
Yeah.
So like it's a cool thing to just kind of watch
like,
and grow
guys.
Because Mac, when I was in middle school, guess where he fucking was? You know what I'm saying? So it's literally one of those where I watched him grow up because I was fucking growing up with him. Like I was literally with him from the beginning. I missed a patch and I came back too. And it was like, dude, look at you. What have you done? Like it was a real cool experience watching the dude grow. And so that's what I was kind of yeah, so that's kind of what I was explaining, like as far as like overall like age and lineage, dude, he would have been essentially like his genres.
He would have been his generation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the people that grew up with him.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay, well in that case I understand.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean he was a year older than me, but I guess I still fall in line with growing up on Eminem because that's the guy I was really inspired by. Because Mac came out in 2012, then I was already listening to. No, on the 2009. Yeah, I know. The first time I heard Mac, when I first heard Mac was in 2012. Best Day Ever. That was the first thing I heard. Oh no, it was 2011. Best Day Ever. That's when I first heard Mac. I was already being really inspired by Eminem. So you know what I mean. That's, but no, I get what you're saying. That's why a lot of people took the death so close to home because it was like we're lost a friend.
For me, it was one of those where I literally just stepped in four albums back. So it was one of those where I watched the Airy thing, I watched it die, and like, you know, I was there, and then now it's like, dude, your story wasn't done. But like to me, it was like reading a book, and something happened. It was like, okay, like that wasn't supposed to happen. Hold on here, like, can't take it back though. It's so crazy.
You see that video where he's in the coffin, right?
Yeah, of course.
That one fucking gives me chills. It says in September I fall. He died in September.
Yeah. At work on I think the month after he passed, our CD had that same song on there. I literally I felt my eyes water. I was like, I have to go to the back because I can't hear this. And the kids are like, what's wrong? I was like, it's just a song. I was like, no, he just died. And this song, when you listen to it, and luckily in the lyrics, they don't play that piece. But they don't have a video on there. Just have the album, basically his album cover. It's him leaning against that coffin, just basically sitting down, and it's like a pile of dirt, and the coffin's right there. I'm like looking at it. I'm like,
oh shit!
Oh my god! The album, yeah, like that hits me, and I'm like, I gotta go to.
Where he's sitting in his suit, just
slumped, and you're like, holy shit! He just died a month ago. To look at that, you're like, you're looking.
For me, that entire music video was just like.
Self-care. Let's call it
self-care.
Yeah. For me, it was just one of those where I watched it before, you know, obviously it's a different headspace, and I watched it after, and it's like,
holy shit.
Whoa.
That's what I don't like. That's why I get pissed when I hear people complain that like one of their favorite artists died when their music was crying out the entire time.
Mhm.
you know, and y'all just bumped it because the beat was
Mhm.
nice. It's like, no, motherfucker was crying. Like, as friends, any real friend of Mac Miller would have already stepped in. Because as a friend, you see when your friends are going through shit.
Yeah, and
You know when your friends are going through shit. You feel it, you know? And you're going to jump in and be like, yo, Self-Care is a great album, but what the fuck are you going through? And how can I help you? And then when it's too late, we sit there with regrets. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck, you know? Because, like, when Mac was so close to X's death, and I listened to X. I was a big fan of X. Like, and that's because I got into his like more serious stuff, not so much of his like his hype stuff.
Mhm.
And 2017, I downloaded the first album from him. And 2018, as soon as that album dropped, I was excited as fuck. And so when I heard that he got shot, I was like, oh, he's gonna be okay. Like they're saying he's okay. And then that night I get on, and it's like, no, X passed away. I just cried. I was like, what the fuck? Like this dude was in his early 20s. Like this is, you know,
2021,
yeah. I was like, this is not fair. You know, I was like, this is not fair. And everybody remembers him for, he abused a girl, but nobody remembers the fact that he was trying to get right. You know what I mean? He was coming up. Same thing with Mac Miller. Nobody acknowledges the fact, it was Ariana Grande's ex. No, dude. It was a human being who was trying to better himself and was crying out for help, and we didn't listen. Kurt Cobain shoots himself in the head in an attic.
His friends were trying to get him help. It's him they didn't want help. He
They
didn't want to go to rehab and all that.
It's crazy stuff, man.
But people feel.
I feel like even with a friend like man, I'd probably be like 24/7 watch.
But like, think about it now. Like everyone with the guilt. I know he was with Ariana Grande. Like, look, she went through that whole thing. She was gonna get married. And then when Mac died, she literally like holy shit. Like literally the backlash she got. Because they're like, why didn't you help him? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I was like,
there was so much.
Like I felt
much
bad to a certain extent because like at first, me personally, I was like, maybe like for him passing, I was like, should I blame her? Because you know she was there, but he said he didn't want the help.
Yeah, like that's like she tried.
She really tried, and then everyone else is like, oh well, she moved on so fast. She went to go get engaged, married. She wanted to forget what she tried to do for Mac. And then when all of that happened, just literally like a woman breaking down because she did everything that she could, try to walk away from the situation to forget about it, and then end up being backlash for it was just like the absolute worst to see. But I mean, honestly, now she's a better woman away from, you know, Pete Davidson, whatnot. But even Pete Davidson to this day still defends like Mac Miller and whatnot. Like he actually did a live show. And he was doing comedy, and he was talking about, I had a friend that died in an apartment. And they're like, was it Mac Miller? And he's like, get the fuck out of my store. Like, get the fuck out of my comedy show. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that. Like, I'm here to do fun comedy. But if you bring that up, I mean, he did his own doing. I didn't do that. So to this day, I mean, at least in between, like, bad blood or whatever, he's still defending him.
Yeah.
Saying that it's not him doing it. Ariana didn't do it. Like, a man made a decision to do what he had to do in the situation and time, but I mean, things happen. And like how we say God works in mysterious ways for people to realize certain things. It's weird because they have to take away certain things from us, and we're like, damn it.
I had a song on the album called Conversations Part 1. Fuck. I need Part 2. Although I have a whole bunch of recordings.
So this is the culture part of the population podcast. This got really sad. No,
Sorry.
No. But like the whole
that's only death I've ever cried on.
Yeah, it's like as soon as the music video to Sad released from X, it was like right after his passing, and it's about him fighting himself after death. And I remember being like, "Yo, what the flip?" Kind of makes you wonder sometimes, you know, like what caused their deaths and like how did they predict them? That's crazy.
It's just to me, it's just some shit because like he was like if time was given to him, you could see as far as X is concerned, you could see that he was on the progress bar. So it's like, dude, like overall potential, like just overall everything, dude. Just fuck, man. That was crazy because I don't know, like X wasn't really like my type of hip hop.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And so I didn't really listen to him. But of course, when everything surfaced, I was like, why is everyone like, what's the hype essentially?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like I could definitely see the attraction. And then there were some songs where it's like,
yeah, it's like I said, like his more serious stuff is what I was into. Like I wasn't into like the look at me fuck on me.
Yeah.
No, like to
Same
me, I
shit.
wasn't jamming that. I was like, yeah, it's kind of trash. Like I remember hearing his cipher when they did the double XL.
Double X.
And I remember being like, yo, this guy looks like he has talent, but like, why doesn't he apply that to his music? Like, why is it all just like hype? And so then we released his albums where he got more into like 17, his album that was very just like straightforward. That's when I was like, this guy's talented. You know what I mean? But what was selling was the hype, so he was on that. But shit, that's there's the really good shit from X. That's what made me a fan. Stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, now this is the Wrestling Tacos podcast, guys.
All right. Just carry on over.
Yeah, right. We're just gonna have
For
like
an hour
7
and a half,
different.
pretty much.
Just kidding.
We have one watcher.
One faithful viewer.
Hello.
Some of the viewer.
What else?
Any news that you want to go over?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Nick H. Any news?
Really no much news. I don't know.
Recently on 361 Dirty Nerdy, I've been looking. They already showed the pops for Endgame.
Yeah.
Those pops are beautiful.
Did you see the one with fucking with that?
The customized one that they did with Ant-Man. The Thanos.
Yeah, he's gonna
Bruh. I had read on Reddit what they fucking wanted a pop to be, and I was like, oh, that'd be totally fucking hilarious.
Like Funko, please don't.
And then you
In the back
fucking
of the
see
box.
it, it's like, oh, bitch, like.
I was like, please don't meme this pop. Like, I don't need this.
Oh
and then
my
whenever you look at it and you see the
God.
back thing, I'm like, please. Ant-Man.
And he's all.
No lie, I just realized what Ronan looks like. He looks like Atreus in this.
Yeah.
Atreus, God of War.
Uh-huh.
That's what he looks like. This is one I'm going after though. I'm going after the Captain America
I honestly
exclusive.
want that
and that Iron Man.
Iron Man, and then up there the Thanos in the whole suit.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
It is a 2-pack though. Yeah,
It's a 2-pack.
It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive.
Trash.
So,
Oh shit!
and then I have all of the Gohans except the double pack.
Damn.
Jeez.
So I have the metallic, please. Oh yeah, but
Thor's hair looks super blonde, right?
What? They
He
gave
looks
him
like
a
Slim
blonde
Shady.
wash? Well, the real Thanos, please stand up.
And that's really the War Machine's one of my ones that I want to
Oh,
because
really?
I like the pose he's in.
Goofy movie. There it is. There it is. Proof.
Yeah, I definitely want that Iron Man though.
That Iron Man looks pretty sick.
I don't get what the Hulk's doing. Is he
Lucha.
floating?
That's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
So we all plan on going to go see that Endgame all together?
I'm gonna do a backflip into that
I
theater.
got my stoned Mickeys.
Back can't sleep?
Oh shit!
I had to get my stoned Mickeys.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, definitely.
Live podcast during the movie.
And then all of my
Get kicked out.
Reaction videos.
These are all the One Piece.
that's
Damn.
law.
So these are all the ones that are out right now for One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see what you mean. Like you wish they made more. Because I mean, this is a good amount, but I mean, as a fan, I would definitely be like, "Yo, I want this one." This
There
one,
are
this one.
several characters where it's like, dude, they're so significant.
Mhm.
Where it's like, you need to make them. And then yeah, so this is my One Piece set right here. Jada.
Oh my god, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She's right now into the good atomic.
So the end game pops with the Hulk Hogan.
She loves those things. She has a little squishies from Hot Topic. She's on one of those.
That's what I was talking about, my entertainment center.
Jesus. Beautiful.
Oh shit!
So speaking of Atreus,
Atreus.
and then the one that you can't really see is the Spider-Man Noir
Noir?
from
Spider-Verse.
Walgreens, the
Walgreens.
one with the one with no hat. See,
Damn.
that's it. So those are the only ones that I wanted. Like there he is. My Spirit Spiders, gold. I have my Stanley right there. See,
Mm-hmm.
my Steelbook is right behind there.
Oh,
Right behind the statues. I
dope.
have the box. I have my One Piece, and then like I was saying, all
I
the
met that
sections.
boy, Jason David Frank.
Mhm.
Man's down to earth. That's my homie right there. Yeah, right. I want to be cool with him. I wish I was that cool with him. Yeah, I know the Green Ranger. I can call
You
him
know?
now.
Yeah, send him on to WK.
I'll call him right
Yeah,
now.
let's send him on a WKE. the Green
He's like,
Ranger.
hold on.
Hold on.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Hurry, please.
GDF.
GDF, please, dude.
Just please.
All
I
right,
was gonna say,
I'll grab your
it's
ass.
morphin' time.
I'm gonna fuck it.
I was about to say that.
That's it.
So the end of population, episode 10.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
go being back.
Oh, and
All right.
live stream.
Bye guys.
Bye,
On our
guys.
Live stream.